An interesting trade deadline wrinkle has come up here in the Blue Jays franchise. In MLB The Show 16, Aaron Sanchez will be heading back to the American League as Texas acquires him in exchange for pitcher Anthony Ronaldo and a potential center fielder Lewis Brinson. I meant to say it in the last episode, not sure if I did, but Aaron Sanchez could have turned into a potentially interesting trade chip for Cincinnati if that's how they wish to go about it with him. And effectively, they turned Devin Mesoraco into a potential center fielder Lewis Brinson. I would say that's pretty good on the Reds' part. And with Aaron Sanchez back in the American League and Texas on our upcoming schedule, I'd already planned on playing them, but now I wanted to even more as we are going to be facing off against Aaron Sanchez. And in an incredibly ironic twist, his first game against the Blue Jays, he will be facing off against Marcus Stroman. Sanchez and Stroman were once looked at as the two brightest young future stars in the Blue Jays organization, and now they will be facing off against one another in what is bound to be a very interesting game between two teams currently in the wild card hunt. The Blue Jays are 9 games above 500, but they are, I believe, 5 back in the division. The Rangers are 52-50, well behind the LA Angels for that division lead. Sanchez is not off to a very good start as Tulo is going to draw that one outside for a walk. Next up to bat, Cesar Hernandez, one of the new Jays acquired at the deadline. That one singles over the first baseman fielder's head and is going to go out into right. The first 2 base runners for the Blue Jays have reached, bringing up Josh Donaldson, 3-2 count. He is going to take one outside too, and you know from past experience with him, Aaron Sanchez does have issues with letting runners on for free. Now Dalton Pompey grounds out, but Andrews goes to third after he steps on second. So the Jays only have 1 out of that, and they do get a 1-0 lead as a run comes home, but the Texas Rangers really squander one right there. Jose Bautista is going to quickly make this a 2-0 game, singles that one out into right field, and then Devin Mesoraco, he wasn't the only new Jay to get a hit in this first inning. Big shot right there, goes out to right, and there was no doubt about that one. 98th career home run for Devin Mesoraco, and this is now a 5-0 game as the Jays bat around Aaron Sanchez very early, and now Tulo is going to be up to bat in the top of the second, and this is going to be the first strikeout of the game for Aaron Sanchez. Gets his former teammate to go down on K right there. But next up later on would be Nomar Mazara at bat, and he is going to swing at that curveball in the dirt as Stroman had a dominating performance today. 1-2 count again for Lorenzo Cain, who is now on the Texas Rangers because the Royals are not a very good team, so they traded him. And Dalton Pompey is going to come up, another hanging curveball. It's not even Sanchez this time, as that one is gone too, and it is now a 6-0 game, or yeah, 6-0 game for the Blue Jays as they get that one off of Tanner Scheppers, who had actually a really good performance. I was surprised by how much we struggled against him. And then Tulo says, while I want to join the fun too. Every Blue Jays hitter reached base today except for Kevin Pillar, who is continuing his miserable season, but he is still an excellent defender, and if you have one weak spot in your lineup, it's not really that big of a deal. We just had too many. New deadline acquisition Tony Sipp came in, and he got quickly off to work. He did allow Joey Gallo to reach base, but he K'd Odor right there. Prince Fielder would join him, and Nomar Mazara finishes off the trifecta. Tony Sipp gets the side to go down on K's, and now bottom of the 9th, single up the middle by Lorenzo Cain. Kevin Pillar runs up, goes to home, tries to get out a speedy Andrews, and he had no shot, dead meat right there. Kevin Pillar still an amazing defender, and the Blue Jays are going to come out on top right here, and he's preserved the shutout Kevin Pillar did with that throw at the end, as the final score on this one would be 7-0 as Aaron Sanchez loses his second game as a Texas Ranger. In his first game, he was going for a no-hitter, actually. He only allowed 1 hit in 7 innings of work. But that's going to do it for this one. Some few notable stats. Stroman went 6 2/3. I accidentally replaced him with Luke Hochevar. I was trying to warm him up, but I put him in on accident. So he went 6 2/3 instead of the full 7. 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Tony Sipp, 1 inning pitched, struck out the side. Cesar Hernandez in his first gameplay episode as a Blue Jay, 1 for 3 with a walk, and Devin Mesoraco went 2 for 4 with a 3-run home run. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more Blue Jays franchise as we get into the thick of a pennant race for the first real year. The other 2 years we kind of had it unlocked by this point, kind of had a good idea that we were going to win the division, but we don't even have the lead in the division this year. So it's going to be a very fun final few games of the season. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.